Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. For this Rotary year, Barry Rassin asked us to be people of action and to be the inspiration. This club's continuing mission to teach youth to succeed through literacy, education, and life skills development is the inspiration that President Rassin asks of us. And the numerous local and international projects that we participate in are the action that he asks us to take. My name is Jim Cole, and I thank you for giving me the honor and the privilege of serving as the 96th president of what is undebatably the best Rotary Club in the world. Thank you. As we do every week at this time, if you're on Facebook and have your phone with you, I ask that you open it up and share our live stream so the rest of the world can see just how great we are. For our daily historical facts, in 1834, Andrew Jackson was censored by Congress for refusing to turn over documents, which just proves that there is nothing new in politics. In 1979, the worst accident in the history of the U.S. nuclear power program began when a valve in Unit 2 of the 3 Mile Island reactor failed to close. And in 1984, Bob Irsay, owner of the once mighty Baltimore Colts, packed up and left for Indianapolis. I'd like to invite Karen Wisenhunt to the front, please.
Denominational organization comprised of members from food, fun, let's pray. Heavenly members of a common family, teach us to be fair to one another, trusting everyone with the same respect and dignity that we expect of ourselves. Let us reach out as friends to all we do business with, trusting them and encouraging their daily activities. Help us always to accept those who appear different from us, acknowledging we are all God's children. Thank you, God, for giving us. We are humbly grateful to those who sleep and wake to the dangers so that we may sleep in peace. Day and the time we spend together as Rotarians, please remind us daily to use the time you have given us to add something of value to the
Warner, if you could join us, please.
Thank you very much. Anyways, today we're happy to be alive. Yes? Yeah. Okay, we're going to sing. What do you guys want to sing? Maybe "O Canada" for Murray. No? No. God bless America. 1, 2, 3. God bless America.
From the mountains to the prairie, to the oceans. My home, sweet home. God bless America. My home, sweet home.
Thank you. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Thank you. Please be seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Jamie Goldsmith, and she's going to take the microphone around as we introduce our visitors and guests. And please, as we always do, hold our applause until the end. I see our resident international guest is joining us again. Welcome back, Murray.
Well, we got a couple of returnees. So this year he's here.
I'm very sorry, Bob. I recognise a face every time I walk in here at Laurie's. Very nice to see an old Englishman that was once upon a time. I'm Mike Warren from District 1070, which is the East Midlands in England. I'm an assistant governor there, and I look after all sorts of things, particularly to do with foundation and foundation giving, so as it might be interesting later. I bring greetings from our district governor, Tim Tucker, for this current year, and from my own club president, Brian Spooner. If anybody's coming over to the Midlands in England, please give us an email, and I'm sure Bob will put you through.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike, thanks, and welcome
He's
back.
he's already got a flag, so I'm not going to give him another one.
Okay.
And of course, Murray, from good old Calgary.
Well, no. I'm always happy when you sing "God Bless America" because Canada sits right there in part of America, and then coming from the number one.
Your seat is always available for you here.
Okay, do we have any visiting Rotarians? Visiting Rotarians, if you could raise your hands, please.
My club in Reno, we have 51 members in our club, so we're small, but we kind of joke around that we're a drinking club with a service problem. And so anyway, I'm retired law enforcement with the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. I was a captain there, and I ran for office, and I am first runner-up for Washoe County Sheriff.
Welcome. Other visiting Rotarians. We have other visiting Rotarians. Okay, guests of Rotarians, if you could raise your hand, please.
I have as my guest today Pam Lang from Spread the Word, Nevada.
Welcome back.
My guest today is Dave Wehrman, one of my ski buddies from Park City, Deer Valley area. He's coming down to encourage me to go skiing again next year.
Welcome.
And I have the pleasure of introducing May 1, he will be the new
Other visitors, Rotarians with visitors.
Thank you, fellow Rotarians. I've been speaking for weeks and weeks about Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. They start tomorrow down in Running Springs, California. And as my guest today, I brought my 15-year-old daughter, who will be one of our attendees and sponsored by our club. So thanks, everyone.
Welcome and congratulations.
Hi, everyone. This is one of my best friends from college, a fellow Trojan, Tyler.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've got my friend Adam Kent here with me today. And Adam is a business coach, and he's been a very good friend and was very supportive of Bill and me over the last several years. So welcome, Adam.
Welcome. Other guests of Rotarians? Guests of Rotarians? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and is also our foundation representative. Please join me in a round of applause for all of our visitors and guests. Exciting. I'd like and so she's going to so that's at May 4th at District Conference. If you'd like to show your support and you'd like to attend the regional competition, potentially could knock our contestant out. A couple more announcements. We have membership cards at the front if you have someone green book or forgot to sign in the green book. Proudly represent the Las Vegas Rotary Club. They're only $26 and $5 of which goes to the foundation. So it's a great way to get a nice shirt and support the foundation. So please, if you're going, get a shirt. Finally, the Corazon Super Build is on May 18th of 2019. Please mark your calendars accordingly. At this time, I would like to invite Rosalie Hedrick, Jacob White, and Tom Thomas to the front, please.
Hi, everyone. So happy this is becoming kind of a regular event that we get to induct people into our club. So today we are inducting Jacob White. His sponsor is Tom Thomas. So welcome. We have a little script we'd like to read to you to welcome you into our club. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Las Vegas, it is my privilege to induct our new member today. Please allow me to introduce Jacob White and his sponsor, Tom Thomas. You have been invited to membership, and our Rotary has accepted you as a person of good character, high ethical standards, a person who has the heart of service and will represent our club in the Las Vegas and Rotary communities. We encourage you to learn all you can about Rotary and to actively participate in the opportunities that our club has to serve those in need. Our Rotary motto, service above self, is the essence of our gathering. The members of our Rotary are people who believe the world understanding and peace can be improved through people united in the cause of service. Today, you are one of those people. We would like to extend to you a sincere and hearty welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary Club and the Worldwide Fellowship of Rotary International. So if everyone would please join me in welcoming our member by standing.
At this time,
the Director of Development for Spread the Word Nevada, and she wants to talk a little bit about our contribution to that organization and tell us a little bit more about it as well. Pam?
Thank you. Hello, Rotary. It's always so nice to be a guest for Rotary, and I get a hug from Bob Warner, and I get to say hi to everybody, so it's always a pleasure. Couple things we wanted to just mention today. One is that Beckley continues to be one of our highest attended Breakfast with Books programs. And I can't thank you enough for the work that you do over there and for the mentoring that a lot of you are doing in our Books and Buddies program. For those of you that are visiting or don't know Spread the Word Nevada, we're the state's largest children's literacy nonprofit, and one of our biggest supporters is the Las Vegas Rotary Club. So we thank you so much for that. We are excited to be a partner in the event that's coming up that is Cuisine and Octane. We are blasting that out to our database. We're talking about it on social media, talking about it with our donors and at the events that we're at. So we're excited to be part of that. We will definitely be there, and we hope to bring lots of friends with us, and we hope you raise a ton of money there, so we're going to help with that. So I have a couple announcements today. At the end of every calendar year, I plow into our gala, which absorbs me for 3 months. We also start working, as soon as we're done with that, on our giving tree, which is our donor mural at Spread the Word Nevada. And we place a gold leaf for anybody that has donated over $100,000 to Spread the Word Nevada. And as I was looking through our lists of support in the community, like Las Vegas Rotary Club, and you've been so dear and special to us, you may have seen it on social media, but a week and a half ago, we reached our 5 millionth book distributed in Nevada for our kiddos. So we're really excited about that, and we thank you for being part of that.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, and thanks for being a great partner for the club. We appreciate it. With that, we're going to take a little break for fellowship. Welcome back. Stu's going to roll up a video for us, and it's an important topic for us to discuss, and I thought it was appropriate because Judge Johnson was here, and it just kind of shows sometimes, even though Rotary is awesome, it's made some mistakes over time. So I hope you enjoy the video. It's a discussion of the 30-year anniversary of women in Rotary. I'll be back.
Where's our president? Here I am. Hello, Sheely. How are you? Hi, boys. Hello, Chad.
If you take yourselves back in your imagination to 1905 and ask what the world was like, it was a man's world. And so it was that when Paul Harris gathered his friends together, Rotary started as a men's organization. Over a period of time, more and more women became involved in the business and professional world.
Members of the Duarte, California Rotary Club.
A group of women in Duarte, California wanted to form a Rotary Club. They were denied. They filed suit. It came to the Supreme Court of the United States. At this point, the matter was taken out of the hands of Rotary.
This is World News Tonight. NBC Nightly News with Tom Bro.
But apparently not for much longer. There has been a major ruling on sex discrimination from the Supreme Court.
The justices decided that states may require Rotary clubs to admit women.
The question now is how far this decision, which begins in Duarte, California, will reach.
The court specifically ruled today that a Rotary Club in Duarte, California had a legal right to admit 3 women under California's non-discrimination law. The court held that the state law served a compelling interest in eliminating discrimination against women, and that clubs like Rotary are not true private associations.
Governors of the International Assembly, the board took immediate action to open up Rotary in any country where the law required it. But it requires a change to the Constitution, and that took a 2/3 vote.
Go ahead and speak. Speaker number 3.
The issue today is quite simply whether we shall have uniformity among Rotary clubs of the world on the issue of membership based on gender.
I was selected by the board to make a presentation on behalf of the board. I felt that we had to obey the Supreme Court decision of the United States, since Rotary has its headquarters in the United States.
What would happen if this thing was passed would be to create clubs exclusively composed of women, giving competition to the existing lady service clubs.
Compañeros representantes,
my fellow delegates,
deseo recordarles
I would like to remind you that the world of 1989 is very different to the world of 1905. I sincerely believe that Rotary has to adapt itself to a changing world.
This male-only provision in the bylaws is a great indictment on all of us. It's an indictment of bias, prejudice, and discrimination.
This enactment, if passed, will give the right of the minority in clubs to force their wishes on the majority.
Opposed to the motion, please stand.
Oh, there were feelings pro and con, but at the end of the day, the majority feeling was that the time was ripe to let in women.
For the motion, 328. Against the motion, 117. Therefore, 89-54 is adopted.
We Indians have always supported it. Right from 1972, one of my colleagues told you in Houston Convention, it is we who proposed to have this, and it was rejected. Now, today it has come up. We're all happy.
How about the vote? How do you feel about it?
Well, I'm not very happy about it.
I see.
Because in Norway we will get quite a few problems with it. But we were divided. We didn't vote jointly.
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and we already have several women members. No problems at all. It was time to do it.
You happy with the vote?
Yes, sir.
Surprised by the vote?
A little bit.
I think clubs should be allowed to choose.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think as a wife, and a lot of wives, and I've spoken to my inner wheel members, have said that they would prefer women not to be in, because Rotary is not like a man at work. Yeah. It's more sociable.
Right.
And when men have, say, their council meetings in the evenings, their wives are going to be wondering, you know, there are women there.
Welcome, Rotarian.
When I was going around the Rotary world trying to talk to people who were concerned about the future of Rotary, I had a little expression that I used. I said, when you're looking for members,
a friend called me up and said, Carolyn, I want you to come to lunch tomorrow at Anchorage East. And I said, thank you, Manuel, but no thank you. I'm 40-something, and I've carried the torch enough times, and it's somebody else's turn. I don't want to go where I'm not wanted. He called me the next Tuesday. Manuel called me 4 more Tuesdays, and it was so clear that he wasn't going to leave me alone unless I went to lunch. And so in June, I finally went to lunch with him. And as soon as I walked in the door, the first guy I saw was someone I knew in my regular professional life, and he said, Carolyn, hi. And after the meeting, several other guys came up, shook my hand, said, thank you for coming. Do you think you might want to join Rotary? I hope you come back again. And you know, there it goes. The rest, as they say, is history.
Thanks, Stu. So, for those of you who didn't know, this went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and they had a long, protracted battle, and ultimately women came in. And I've never known this club not to have women, so I'm thankful for it. And thank you. It's turned out great, and just by happenstance or serendipitously, our First Lady President is here, and I'd ask her to stand up so we could just give her a round of applause, please. So the tie-in to the Rotary Foundation is that President Rassin is asking us this year, in remembrance of the 30-year anniversary of women being admitted, to make a donation to the Rotary Foundation, which Judge Johnson will talk to us about in a little bit. In the meantime, I'd like to start with calling Deb Grandin to the front, please. Hi. How's it? $100. Congratulations.
Thank you. Last evening, myself and 18 other individuals had the pleasure of serving community dinner at the Las Vegas Rescue Mission. And I'll tell you what, it was a very eye-opening and worthwhile exercise for us, serving anywhere from families to individuals of all walks of life who are going through some challenges here in our community. Some of us were handling trash, some were serving water, meals, and the whole 9 yards. It was a great experience. By the end of the night, we had served over 700 meals, 722 to be exact. And so I want to thank fellow Rotarians who showed up, Rob, family, and so it was all in all a fun time for all of us who participated, and we'll likely do it again. So thank you.
Thanks for organizing that. Could you take the microphone to Renee, please?
Hello, fellow Rotarians. If you look towards the end of the room, you'll see a stack there. You'll see a Target bag on top. Today was the last day to bring in your new undergarments for Project 150. Again, Project 150 helps the over 6,000 teenagers in high school in the Las Vegas area who are homeless. But if you still, in the Green Book, there's still an opportunity to make a cash donation. And if you forgot to bring it in today or have other items, please contact me or Nikki after the meeting, and we'll be happy to make arrangements to make sure Project 150 gets as most as possible. Please.
For you gentlemen that don't want to go to J.C. Penney's and buy ladies' underthings, then you can donate $50 and Renee will take care of it.
My wife will help.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone over to Marie Walsh, please?
Get my steps in today.
Thank you, President Jim. Last time to come and see the children. April 9th is the last breakfast with books at Beckley for the school year. I want to thank you all for participating this year. As we were just told, the Rotarians were outstanding in showing up this year. So if you can come and join us on April 9th, we'd love to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you could just hand the microphone to Dr. Kathy, please.
Hi, we had a small turnout for Stop the Bleed last Saturday, but we were a small but mighty group. Thank you. And but anyway, sorry. They'll be on the table, so if you want to arrange a course for your Boy Scout troop or, Girl Scout troop or something, and the teachers in the classrooms are learning this too, so it will be pretty widespread through the community, and they've trained 9,000 volunteers already. Of course, in a community of over 2 million people, we could use more than that. Anyway, so thank you.
Thank you. Would you take the microphone? And you can all feel free to ignore this announcement.
Looking back to see what I'm supposed to be saying, Jim. Can you prompt me here? I forgot my lines.
I think there's water involved at some point in this event.
Waterfalls, yeah. Something that Jim's looking forward to, by the way. The debunking party is going to be coming up. I think the date's in the wheel here.
The 27th of
June, right? So Jim's really prompting this. He's looking forward to this for some reason. So anyhow, I hope all of us can make it to that. That's one of our best parties of the year, where we get to celebrate the outgoing president and serenade him with some liquid refreshments.
Thanks. You can take the mic now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Would you take the microphone to past President Dave Thorson, please?
Where are you? Okay.
We're going to meet at the front gate at 3 p.m. That's at the corner of Craig and Las Vegas Boulevard. Like an idiot with a forlorn look, wondering where our lost Rotarians are. So hope you can make it. And even if you're not on the list and want to come on out there. Just try to get there by 3, and we'll get you on a bus, and we'll have a nice ceremony today.
I need a prompt as well. Ryla?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as I had mentioned when I introduced Peyton, tomorrow not only is our club sponsoring 12 amazing leader demonstrations, there's 350 representing the Las Vegas Rotary. Will be
Could you take the microphone over to President-elect Jackie Thornhill, please?
Hi, everyone. We're about a month out from our annual get them and sell them. Was over there this week and re-recorded into the studio to do another live interview, so we were able to get that out there as well. Billboards will start on April 1st, Facebook ads on April 1st, And remember, we are benefiting Spread the Word Nevada as well as our local foundation, so please sell tickets. Thank you.
Thank you. And could you also just give us a brief reminder, are no longer with us, but this is from our club, and they all deserve recognition. So if I get a round of applause for all of our major donors. And with that, I will do the raffle, and then we'll bring up Jackie Thornhill. The raffle today is for $500 since it was one last week, and seven 1317. One 1317. Anybody? Okay. Well, sorry? Oh. It was one of our pre-solds, that's why. Thank you. Steve Kwan. See, Sean should get you your $50. Okay, for the Lowry Bucks, 811-333. 1333. Mr. Lester. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh. He did the snatch and smile, so. At this time, I'd like to invite up President-elect Jackie Thornhill to more formally introduce our speaker.
Susan Johnson initially was elected to serve State District Court Judge, Department 22 on January 2nd, 2007, and thereafter overwhelmingly reelected twice in 2008 and 2014, with 82 and 75% of the vote, respectively. She currently hears civil and construction defect matters. Graduated from Clark High in 77, UNLV in 1982, from McGeorge School of Law, University of the Pacific in 1985, and is a member of the Nevada and California State Bars since 85 and 86, respectively. Judge Johnson is also admitted to practice before the United States District Court, District of Nevada since 85, Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals since 86, and the U.S. Supreme Court since 1989. She has practiced civil litigation, personal injury, security and/or premises claims, domestic and family law, wills, and simple estate planning. She's also done insurance work, civil rights defense, and having an active trial practice. She's also worked as an arbitrator. She's also very involved in our community, past president of the Howard D. McKibben chapter of the American Inns of the Court, the Rotary Club of Green Valley, and Nevada Rotary Foundation, and currently serves as foundation chair for Rotary District 5300, as well as the Rotary Club of Green Valley. She has been married to District Court Judge Eric Johnson for over 32 years, and they have 2 adult daughters. Please welcome Judge Susan Johnson.
Would you do it, and I'll just tell you to pass the slide? Okay. By the way, before I get started and that they are getting things kind of set up, I do have some forms for Rotary Direct that if you would like to have Rotary International, by the way, I was reminded, the Rotary Foundation is different from your own club foundation.
So this is on an international level. So I know that I find with my own club that there's always mix-ups between our club foundation and the Rotary Foundation, or TRF. But if you're interested in making direct donations to where you don't have to worry about whether you've made a payment or not, I do have these forms. I'd first like to talk to you about the history of the Rotary Foundation, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about levels of giving and what kind of funds that are available through the Rotary Foundation. And I have only 20 minutes to do it, so if I talk like I'm the ever-ready bunny, that's probably why. First of all, the Rotary Foundation came into effect in about 1917 when it was announced at the Rotary International Convention. And of course, it was announced by then Rotary President Arch Klump, which is why we have an Arch Klump Society. In 1928, it was named the Rotary Foundation, and it became a distinct entity within Rotary International. It started out with we have this World War I thing going on, right? Okay, we end the war. Well, things start to happen. We're starting to get more contributions as our country and the world becomes more prosperous. And in fact, in 1930, that is when the first donation is made whose nickname was Daddy. I have no idea why, but $300. Not much going on because it's called the Great Depression. So you're not getting too many contributions going on then. So everything that happened in England, but they went through the brunt more than we did in terms of rationing, and the most I think people were contributing to was maybe U.S. bonds or something. Okay, we get through that. Then about 1947, we have a tragedy happen, but there's a silver lining to it. We lose Paul Harris. He passes away in 1947, and what do people do when people pass away besides buy flowers? Well, they make contributions in their name. And about $1.3 million is contributed to that memorial fund, which was then designated to benefit the Rotary Foundation. And $1.3 million in 1947 translates to about $15 million today. Okay? Then, of course, we're starting to get a little bit more prosperous. 10 years later, we start the Paul Harris Fellow. And that was designed to encourage Rotarians to contribute at least $1,000. By the way, it's never changed. It's still only $1,000 to become a Paul Harris Fellow. So those that have been talked about in terms of matching, what a deal. Okay? But anyway, it was a way to not only honor the foundation, they're of course garnering funds, then about the mid the first project that they're going to do is they're going to inoculate and eradicate polio from the Philippines. It happens. Nobody thought that, they were thinking, wow, big project, we were able to do that? Well, what happens in 1985? They decide we're going to go bigger, and we are going to eradicate polio from the Philippines. You get one wild case coming to the United States, look what happens. So it's very important that we get rid of this disease. Our foundation gala, which we held on the 16th, was designed to try and create more donations toward the eradication. I don't have the final numbers and all the pledges that have come in, and they're still coming in, but we did generate over $10,000 from our silent auction. So we, as a district, should be congratulated for that. Okay. This doing that, and I gave him credit because I'm plagiarizing. I mean, why am I going to create something that he did such a great job of? All right, let's talk about our levels of giving. And I will tell you this, when I was a president going to pets, in fact, my cohort back there, Brock, I mean, I know he would probably say the same thing. The guy who gave the foundation presentation was so confusing with all these initials and so forth that I hope that I'm not going to do that. But the first one that involves the initials are E-Ray, or every Rotarian every year. And it is an award given to a club where at least $100 per capita is given to that the club giving $100 per capita, and that is a minimum of at least $25 per member. You could do next slide. To the annual fund per year, you get this award. Okay? Next slide. Okay, then there's a 100% Foundation Giving Club, which is basically the same thing, only it is you can make your donations to the annual program fund, Polio Plus Fund, any of the approved global grants, or the endowment fund. And the endowment fund, by the way, is very important. It is a fund where obviously we're not touching the principal, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but I'm thinking about it. They wanted to raise at least $1 billion in this endowment fund by 2017, and we met it. The next goal is to try and get $2 billion and $2,000, a little over $2 billion. What will that do for us? That will generate an income of $50 million a year toward Rotary projects. So I have noticed in my own looking at some of our donations through the district that I'm seeing an uptick in donations to the endowment fund, although we are a little bit low on the annual programs fund, which is a little distressing for me. But anyway, next slide. Of course, guess what you guys are? You're a 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club, and today I'm proud to report we have at least 17 of our 65 clubs in the district that are 100% Paula Harris Fellow Clubs. The majority of them are here in Clark County, and the latest one to enter our group is the Las Vegas Spring Mountain Rotary Club, and we are going to be giving them their banner very soon. We had 3 clubs this year join. That was Arcadia, Laverne, and of course Las Vegas Spring Mountain. So I'm very happy about that. That is a one-time recognition where you just have to get 100% one time, and you will always be a 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club. Next slide. Okay, this one is an award for the top 3 givers in the district. I know that Green Valley was up there, but we've been knocked off, which is okay. So the top 3 will get a banner indicating that they've met that achievement, but of course you have to have every member contribute at least $50. Next slide. Of course, this one's a little tough. 100% Paul Harris Society Club, that is a club where every member contributes $1,000 per year. So I don't know of any club that has that, it's certainly not in our district. And of course we have these cool little pins, which you can get if you're a Paul Harris Fellow, and you get a sapphire once you become for every year up to the Paul Harris Fellow plus 6, and then you get these cool little rubies after that. Okay, next slide. Okay, you get this little ribbon if you're a member of the society, and that's, again, somebody who gives at least $1,000 per year, and you would attach that to your pin. Next slide. And then, of course, major donor levels, and I have to congratulate all of you. Did you see that list? That is a lot of major donors, and I'm proud of that because we only have one right now in our club, but we're going to have another one pretty soon. Anyway, we have various levels of major donors. Level 1's 10,000 to 25, 25 to 50, level 2, 50 to 100,000, level 4 is 100,000 to 250,000, and then of course you get into the Arch Clump Society. Next slide. You have the trustee circle, chair circle. By the way, the Carltons are and you get your picture in Chicago. Okay. The next one, of course, is Bequest Society, and that is if you are contributing at least $10,000 in your estate planning. And you say, well, wow, that's a lot of money. Well, guess how much it costs you, guys? Nothing. Your kids have to pay it, okay? You want to get even? Become a member, okay, of the Bequest Society. And, of course, you have the benefactors, next, and that is somebody. Okay, you can skip the next couple slides because there were some that I forgot to get rid of. So, next slide. Slides. Okay, let's talk about the funds. All right, of course, you've heard of Polio Plus Fund. I just alluded to that, and that's where we're trying to eradicate polio from the face of the planet. Annual Programs Fund, of course, that is for support today. And then, of course, the endowment fund we've talked about, where you contribute, the principal's not taken, and the income is used to help support our projects. Those are the major funds, okay? Now, the annual program fund is the primary source of funding for our foundation grants and programs. The share contributions are split between the World Fund and the District Designated Fund, or DDF, okay? And it is the only annual fund that generates funding for the District Designated Fund. And what we do, obviously, is that we allocate our DDFs to fund whatever your programs are through the district and, of course, you clubs, okay? Next slide. The World Fund, of course, is the other half of Annual Programs Fund that we contribute to every year, and it provides the Rotary Foundation portion of funding for grants and other programs. Invest it, okay? Next slide. Okay, we have various areas of focus for the Annual Program Fund. Of course, promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, saving mothers and children, supporting education, and growing local economies, teaching folks to fish, not just giving them money. Next slide. Okay, the area of focus contributions. Now, just so that you know, if you say, well, gee, I want to focus not on your annual program fund or share, we want to go ahead and do mothers and children, or we want to promote clean water. You can do that, and that would go toward your major donor giving. It goes toward your next Paul Harris Fellow giving, and the district's capital calculations. It is that. You're eligible for all annual fund recognition opportunities, but it is not included in the share calculation to give the district their district designated funds. Okay? Of course, we have restricted giving of polio, and that money is contributed solely to polio to try and eradicate it, and we are continuing to ask everyone to donate to get rid of this horrible disease. By the way, how many went to the Foundation Gala? Oh, quite a few. Wasn't that a great speaker, Ramesh Ferris? He was an amazing individual, and by the way, he crawled in and got up on his podium after putting on the braces on his legs. Okay, of course, the endowment fund. They're invested to preserve and increase the principal, and just a percentage of the income is spent each year to support foundation grants and programs, because, of course, they're trying to build that fund. And, of course, they were trying to grow it to $1 billion, which we did by 2017. Of course, what other programs do we have? We have the Rotary Peace Centers, which things like international relations, peace, conflict resolution, and professional development certificates in peace and conflict studies. Now, this is where I told you that I was a little bit outdated. We had 22 wild polio cases in 2017. It increased to 33 in 2018. So we've got to work on this disease. I've, by the way, been these countries to tell them that, the Taliban is not telling them the correct information and, that we're going to sterilize people or something. So we've really got to work to encourage these folks to take these drops. Okay, now let's talk about global and district grants. District grants, of course, the small-scale, short-term activities, which of course include our humanitarian projects, our scholarships, vocational training teams. By the way, you might stop here. We will have a vocational training team coming from Australia, Perch, Australia, in April. Particularly, they're coming in the Friday night before Easter and leaving Friday after Easter. We are looking for host homes, and they may be having a visit here, hopefully. We are trying to work all of those kinds of logistics out. So if you are interested, please let me know. Okay? Of course, we've got global grants, which support large international projects, and they must have sustainable, measurable outcomes in our areas of focus that I just talked about. District or club grant sponsors can form international partners. And the global grants from the World Fund, it is a match. You've got to have a minimum of $15,000 project to get the match of $15,000. So you're looking at a $30,000 project if you want to get a match. And the global grant must have two primary sponsors, which are, of course, the international host and the local host. Okay? So you may be partnering, you'd be the international host, then the local host may be in India or Pakistan or wherever you're going to be doing that. Okay. I will be teaching grants management seminar at District Assembly, which will be on Friday, May 3rd at District Conference. So you need to have at least 2 people there from your club to attend in order to be eligible for receiving the district designated fund grant. Now, I don't know what the new district governor is going to do with respect to the DDF. Right now, you don't have to have a match. At least this year, you didn't have to have a match. And if we had funds left over from what we call the first round of grant applications, you were eligible to apply again because we wanted to make sure we used all this money up. We don't want to return it back to Rotary International. We want to use up all of our money. Okay? So here's my cell number. No, I do not let people out of jail free. Just letting you know. That's my email. So if you have any questions, certainly call me. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. So and that's the end of my presentation. How'd I do, President Jim? Oh, good. Well, good. I was trying to go through it. All right. Any questions about foundation, the Rotary Foundation? Wow. Yes.
Most people are concerned about administrative fees in the foundations. What percentage of administration fee is used by Rotary International?
Well, I could tell you if you looked on Charity Navigation, we are the highest rated. And if my memory serves me right, I believe it's about 95% of the money goes to the particular charity. Is it 98%? I know it was up there. And as you know, on Annual Programs Fund for SHARE, when we make a contribution, yes, the used to pay for administrative expenses, and then of course we receive 1/2 of that money back here in our district. 1/2 of the other money goes to the World Fund, and so essentially every dollar, yes, we have a dollar that's beat down by 3 years in terms of value, but for the most part it's all used for our projects because we don't ask for an income. In fact, most of the time we're paying our own expenses to go to India to do drops and all that kind of stuff, right? And I just might note that I had a discussion with my elderly mother about, making contributions. I'm sure you guys have had this discussion with your parents where they get these things in the mail and they think they've got to write a check, right? Well, the one charity my mom was contributing to, because she loves animals, it was 84%. No, actually, that one was 75%. It was another one that was 84%. So 98%, that's pretty huge. So, yes?
Just have a general comment about where our funds go for the foundation. Our club has a student that's studying in Japan under the World Peace Scholarship, and there's only, for the club members, there's only 100 that are selected worldwide, and we have one of them. So it's something to be very proud of.
You should be proud of that. Okay, Dave.
Hi, Susan. How are you? Nice
Really
to see
good.
you.
And we'll see a lot of each other at Field of Honor Project.
Yes, ma'am. I'm curious if you happen to know how we rank in our district for our foundation giving. We always used to be up there, and I wondered if you happen to know that statistic.
Oh, boy, and it changes. I don't think you guys are in the top 3, but you're up there. Green Valley's up there, too. But I could get you that information, but I'm not quite sure what it is per capita. But I do check that. Any other questions about Rotary, the E-Rotary Foundation? Well, I'm not surprised because you guys are a very generous group, and you've got several major donors. You're 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club. In fact, I was a little bit afraid that I might have dumbed down my presentation, but I know you've got some new members, and I thought it might spark some questions that you might have. So I want to thank you very much for having me. This has been a lot of fun, and I miss you guys.
Thank you. And if I could just have you come back for 1 second. For all of our speakers to come, we present them with a Share What You Can award. And so with this award, we are going to present a meal to a needy veteran in your name. So thank you so much for coming to talk to us and tell us about the foundation. Thank you. Okay, as we leave here today, let's go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all persons. Love and serve each other, rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Be people of action. Be the inspiration. Meeting adjourned.
Oh, hello.